Thank you for viewing the Argus Science series on eye tracking fundamentals. In this episode, we are focusing on ET3Space, featuring the advanced real-time tracking SmartTrack3 paired with the ETVision. With ET3Space, Argus Science will supply the mounts for attaching the passive markers on the ETVision frames. These markers collectively create a rigid body, which when recognized and tracked by the SmartTrack3, will report the participant's head position and orientation. ET3Space combines the 6 degrees of freedom information with gaze direction determined by the ETVision to provide real-time gaze location on surfaces or planes. First, we must perform a one-time scene plane or surface definition. Having previously measured the size of the scene plane to be defined, we enter these measured values into the ETVision software. In this case, we are defining the center monitor shown in the world view or scene camera of the ETVision. Once the coordinate values of the vertices are entered, we are going to click on the 4 corners of our monitor shown in the scene camera view. We are using the position and orientation reported by the SmartTrack3 to associate real-world dimensions to the surface. Often, it is easier to enlarge the camera view of the ETVision to facilitate accurate placement of the corner crosshairs. Once the corners of this surface have been defined, we may set the size of the plane bounding box. In most cases, we want to make the boundaries of the plane to be slightly larger so that gaze near the surface edges are correctly assigned to the proper plane. We may repeat this process for multiple surfaces. The result is that each surface defined is a unique scene plane, and gaze will be reported relative to each scene plane. This is a one-time setup, and the scene plane collection will be used for each participant. We have done our scene plane setup. Now let's collect some data using the ETVision and the SmartTrack3. In this view, we can see to the left a macro view of the participant as he approaches and sits at a workstation. On the right is the ETVision application. ETVision app has several windows, including both eyes that are shown at the top, and below that is our scene image. Scene image shows our scene planes and gaze, both in real time. It is important to note that the gaze is shown in the scene camera view relative to the scene camera coordinate frame. However, to the lower right is our data display window. This will show gaze relative to each scene plane. It'll also give information on head position and orientation as provided by the SmartTrack3 in the lower left corner of the data display window. We've collected our data. Now let's take a quick look at how easy it is to analyze data using the Argus ET analysis program. Once we launch ET analysis, we may create a new project or load an existing project. In this case, we'll load an existing project that already contains 2 participant files that were collected at the same workstation. We can then load the participant file we just collected. Before we do anything with this recent file, we want to take a look at our common background image. This is a picture of the workstation showing the 3 monitors as well as a frame picture of an eye in the background. We have defined the scene planes on this background as well as areas of interest. Data for each participant may be applied to this common background and AOIs. We call on our new participant file and calculate a fixation sequence, which will calculate fixations and associate these fixations to the areas of interest. We immediately have data we can look at graphically, visually, or in tabular form. First, we can look at a bar chart showing time spent on each area of interest. We may export this image for reports if desired. We can then visualize the data over the common background. We can play the video through and show heat maps, gaze trails, fixations, and peak maps. Below the video is an AOI dwell plot, which shows what AOI sequence looks like as a timeline. Please note, we may save any of this as a video or any particular frame as an image if desired. We can also look at the data in tabular form with the option to export the text or to Excel format if desired. We can do a summary, which shows the percentage of time and total time spent on each area of interest. Finally, we can also do a group visualization with all three participants' data shown simultaneously over the shared background. This is all possible in a few mouse clicks because of the ET3Space and the power of the ETVision paired with the ART SmartTrack3. Please feel free to visit our website where you can get more information about Argus Science. Thanks for watching.